Hello, everyone. My name is Danny, and this is going to be my review for Mortal Engines. It's a 2018 movie. It runs 2 hours and 8 minutes. It is directed by Christian Rivers. It stars Hera Hilmar, Robert Sheehan, Hugo Weaving, somebody named Jahay, and Ronan Raftery. Yeah, nobody we've heard of. All right. It's a long description, all right? So you got to stick with me here for a minute. Hundreds of years after civilization was destroyed by a cataclysmic event, a mysterious young woman, Hester Shaw, emerges as the only one who can stop London, now a giant predator city on wheels, from devouring everything in its path. Feral and fiercely driven by the memory of her mother, Hester joins forces with Tom Natsworthy, an outcast from London, along with Anna Fang, a dangerous outlaw with a bounty on her head. Mortal Engines is the startling epic adventure directed by Oscar-winning visual effects artist Christian Rivers. Joining Rivers are The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings trilogy's three-time Academy Award-winning filmmaker Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh, and Philippa Boyens, who have penned the screenplay. Visual effects are created by a Weta Digital team led by Ken McGaw, Kevin Smith, Luke Millar, and Dennis Yu. The Universal and MRC adaptation is from the award-winning book series by Philip Reeve, published in 2001 by Scholastic. On board as producers are Zane Weiner, Amanda Walker, and Deborah Forte, as well as Walsh and Jackson. Ken Cummins joins Boyens as executive producer. Universal will distribute the film worldwide. Okay, so why I read all that, and thanks for staying with me if you're still with me, is because that long description naming all the people that were involved with this project and all the money and all the producers and everything that they got with this project still can't stop this movie from sucking. Now, I have waited 3 days after I saw this movie because I really haven't had much of a voice, and I still kind of don't. I got my Kleenex right here in case I need it. But I have been telling people for 3 days that this movie was awful. I could not hang with it, and I tried really hard. I was alert the whole time, all 2 hours and 8 minutes of this saga movie that Peter Jackson from The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit are all involved. And I had pretty high expectations. I mean, we have some pretty cool movies coming out right now that are like, different graphics and different stories. And then you got Aquaman and Bumblebee, but we got all these movies coming out that are really original, and Mortal Engines was supposed to be one of those that I was really excited for. I guess this guy that they're trying to sweep his name under the rug and push Peter Jackson's name is he did King Kong, and I like that movie. I like the King Kong movies. I like anything having to deal with that, and so I was excited about this, and it sounded like an okay story. It was a mixture of, I was thinking Mad Max the whole time, man. Like, once it started being what it wanted to be, and it had people driving around on these crazy makeshift huge things that were just driving on the dirt the whole time, I was like, man, this movie really wants to be Mad Max. I was, and then something you probably won't hear other reviewers say, but I was thinking this the whole time. I'm like, this movie is gonna flop. I was thinking of leaving the movie, but I don't do that. I try not to do that. And a movie would have to really be the most boring movie ever for me to actually leave it. But I was considering leaving this movie. It was that bad. And so my mind started to wander while I was watching because I couldn't connect with any of the characters. The second thing is that I was starting to compare it to other movies that have been flops in America's eyes, but maybe I liked a little bit. And I'd have to put the most forefront one in my mind is John Carter. Like, I loved that movie when it came out. I was looking forward to it. Nobody else liked it, and I still would watch it today. If it's on TV, I tune in. I really liked that movie. It was good original thought. And I was thinking, you know what? Like, I'm not enjoying Mortal Engines while I was watching it, but I was thinking, that maybe someday, after everybody said how horrible this is, I might give this movie another try someday down the line, just to see if it's horrible the second and the third time you watch it. Because it's such an original idea. I mean, who thinks to put a whole city on this thing with wheels? I mean, you can literally bomb it and the whole city would be dead. I mean, there's so many common sense things. And I'm sorry, but I read the name of the actors in this movie. We don't know any of them. You couldn't connect to any of them. There's one person that is like a computer made person and or some kind of different kind of person where he's more evil and everything, but everybody that's evil in this movie is actually kind of nice and they have like their own story going on, and they try to explain that, but all in all, it was just confusing, it was boring, there's way too much talking. And that's why I was thinking of John Carter. Like that movie just has really cool stuff in it, but it's just a lot of talking. And I just don't think people are connected with a movie like this. I don't know what person out there is actually going to be excited, but they're going to go to it. They're going to figure out that Peter Jackson isn't the main influence on this. They're going to figure out that it's really slow and long and lots of talking and boring. And they're going to figure out that the best parts of this movie are the action, and even that is kind of underwhelming, and it almost looks like Independence Day because it's just too much at the same time going on. And then they have this big mass weapon, and I mean, I could talk about that probably for 10 minutes, but my summary would say if you're going to have a mass weapon used in a movie, like if you're going to have that person use that weapon, they probably shouldn't have to reset and shoot it like three more times. Like it looks so impressive, like just have it be one time or not at all. Like I hated that scene because it's like if you're gonna have this big old thing come rising out of this freaking machine and shoot it, have it be a one-time thing. I mean, it's that strong and powerful, just have it be a one-time thing. So there was a lot more wrong with this, and you're gonna hear it if you want to watch other reviews. But my opinion is that it wasn't what I expected, and I really wanted it to be. I'm glad of the originality of it. I felt sorry for the actors in it because I knew that this is not Star Wars and they can't just get off, selling the idea of this movie like Star Wars does because nobody knows who they are and their script isn't that interesting. But when I was in there, it really felt like a Star Wars movie. Just felt like a bunch of people talking about what they're going to do to attack or go somewhere, and named the most boring Star Wars movie. And this was a little bit better than that because it had some interesting aspects. But other than that, I can't give it much credit for anything. So the lowest grade I give is a D minus. But other than that, I can't refer you to see it, except you want to give it the old college try to give it a chance, but just keep your expectations way too low. Keep them low, 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 okay? D minus for Mortal Engines. My name's Danny. Sorry about being stuffed up. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would, and enjoy your movies. Just not Mortal Engines. Sorry. Thanks, guys.